Hey, thank you, gentlemen. Hey, I'm delighted that the president is holding his ground on that border. That's been one of the best things that's happened in 30 years in my book. And I'm thinking the Border Patrol ought to change their mascot. It ought to be this guy Gandalf. None shall pass.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, there you go. What else you got, Gary? We're going to try and push on from the border stuff.
Just one other thing. Patrick Colbeck, we had our first meeting earlier this month, and 200 people showed up. So that's a really good sign.
Really?
That we've got the grassroots started up, and everybody just keep pushing forward because we're going to win. If we're going to win, we got to do it. So let's make it happen.
Right. Good. Well, I'm glad that makes me feel better that he already has 200 people showing up at a meeting. That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Gary. Have a great
Gary.
one.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Back at you, folks. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Flynn?
Let's talk about Flynn.
Yeah.
He's going in front of sentencing on Tuesday, General Flynn.
I'm just wondering if that judge isn't going to throw the case out.
My thoughts exactly.
I say, I don't know if a judge can do that, to tell you the truth. I don't know if he can.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. That's Sullivan, Judge.
Yeah.
Is it Emmett Sullivan?
Emmett Sullivan, yes.
Emmett Sullivan. And,
isn't he the guy that tore into Mueller earlier in the year?
Yep. He has been really tough on the Mueller team in court. And what he asked for this week for sentencing was for Mueller to give him all kinds of information by Friday. I don't know if he met the deadline. The
302s. He did not give the right one from what I'm given to understand. One of these findings was not from the original having Flynn in, but it was from 7 months later from Comey,
right,
talking about it, as history. And so it wasn't even current to what was going on. I had an interesting thought this morning, and I'm glad we have an opportunity to talk about it because it's not often I have an interesting thought. And that is that they talk about Flynn should have not expected to have been warned that lying to the FBI is a crime. Okay? So I'm thinking Miranda rights, right? Every time you see somebody arrested, obviously, or even interviewed by the police, it's you have the right to remain silent. What you can may be used against you. I don't think he had that.
Well,
he should have had some kind of warning that this is not just – we're not just talking sports here. We're talking about your life, buddy.
I thought I had heard, and I don't have the transcript, so I can't tell you that, but I thought I had heard, and I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on because there's plenty of those conspiracies out there, that Flynn knew already that they had the transcript.
Yes, because he said something to the effect of, but you already know that.
You already know
they
that.
listened to the phone. And the other thing that bothers me about this is back and forth, listening to pundits. Like I was listening to Tucker Carlson. Well, I listen to him all the time. And he kept getting lost on this. He kept saying, well, he's an admitted liar. He's only an admitted liar in the sense that he had pled guilty to lying. Now, if you want to call that admission to lying, well, when they're threatening to throw you in jail for 10 years and take what's left of your assets away, which they already did, and go after your family, okay, that's admitting to lying.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that the FBI agents, Strzok, Comey, all these other in their original 302s said, oh, no, we don't believe he was lying.
That's right.
And he didn't believe he was lying.
That is exactly right.
Yeah, okay, he pled to lying. That's not the same as admitting you lied.
Right. So when Judge Sullivan on Tuesday is going to give, obviously, General Flynn an opportunity to speak, my assumption is you admitted to doing this. Was there any ulterior motive for you? Did you feel forced to do it? At which point, this is where it's going to get interesting. If Flynn says, I was out of money, I couldn't fight the battle anymore, they said they would investigate my son, they said they would do this, I had no choice but to do this. At what point does the judge say, that sounds like a collusion of the federal government, a conspiracy of the federal government to try and find something on you and force you into an admission and pleading in this case. You can't force somebody like that to plead. And let's be honest, Strzok was one of those two guys that interviewed him.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he
he's
said
the one
he
that
didn't lie. Yeah.
He said he didn't lie. So all of a sudden, you go through all these back channels, all these months of investigation, make Flynn spend every dime he's got, make him sell his house to pay for the attorneys.
Plus, they targeted him.
I think, absolutely.
And like Comey laughing about, we just waltzed in there. Nobody stopped us from talking to him. Any other administration would have.
And so back to my tinfoil. Did Flynn know this would end? Did Flynn know that when it all played out, that it would come down to this sentencing and what is about to happen and be said in front of Sullivan?
I don't know.
I mean,
he had no point. He had no choice. I mean, I probably would have done the same thing he did. You can fight the good fight, but if you don't have ACLJ coming on and paying for your legal defense, it's bankrupt them already. It's how far can you go?
Yeah. How do we treat a 3-star general, a patriot, a guy like General Flynn who's done everything? It's his job to talk to Kislyak.
Mm-hmm.
It's his job, folks. That's what an incoming administration does.
They said he violated the Logan Act, and then they didn't even pursue that. Then it was, he lied. Yeah. And, of course, he did lie to Vice President Pence, which is why he got the boot, and I don't think Trump will take him in and give him a position. Well, I don't know if he could, convicted felon.
Right.
But the thing
convicted.
He's convicted. Now we're into sentencing. If he got unconvicted, if somehow or other Judge Emmett could unconvict him and set aside the felony, that would be, or if Trump pardoned him, then, if he pardoned him, then it's all white. It's clean. Have you seen Les Mis, the play or the movie?
No.
Okay, then you're not familiar with the Inspector Javert character. This guy the whole thing is about this character, this Inspector Javert, hounding the protagonist of the play and the movie the whole time. Just hounding him and hounding him and hounding him. And so Javert really is like a type of Mueller. Mm-hmm. And it's a cultural touchstone or reference point.
Okay, so I want to talk karma before the end of the show.
Okay.
Weekly Standard, Bill Kristol. Going out of business.
What do you know?
That used to be a decent magazine. I used to read those articles.
Yeah.
And once Bill Kristol and the rest of those Never-Trumpers kind of yanked that whole, I was done with the Weekly Standard.
I used to listen to Kristol all the time on the Bill Bennett show, and I'd listen to what he said, and then you're like, what happened to you? Why are you so opposed?
He's part of the elite, dude. The only thing that comes to mind, he's guilty of something. He's into that entitled, globalist, elitist, douchebag club that they're all in up there. It's amazing to watch Bill Kristol because, like you, 5 years ago, I thought Bill Kristol was a real conservative, a leader. And he turned out to be just a complete douchebag.
Do you have to use that word?
I always, and I shouldn't, because that's a useful instrument, really, right?
Yes.
And he's not a useful instrument by any stretch of the imagination.
There's Sherry, I got it in.
All right, until next week, go to Kern Online and check out our advertisers.
Yes. And advertise with us.
Yeah, and then go to thedailydrift.com and we'll talk to you next week.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.